A Theory of Justice by John Rawls, first published in 1971, is one of the most influential works in modern political philosophy. The book outlines Rawls's vision of a just society, introducing a framework that has shaped debates on justice, equality, and the role of institutions. Central to Rawls's theory is his concept of justice as fairness, which he presents as an alternative to utilitarianism, the dominant moral philosophy at the time. This essay explores Rawls's key ideas, including the original position, the two principles of justice, and their implications for modern political systems. Justice is fairness. Rawls's primary goal in A Theory of Justice is to establish a set of principles that can govern a well-ordered society where all individuals cooperate under mutually agreed rules. He defines justice as fairness, as the moral foundation for such a society, emphasizing equality and fairness in the distribution of rights and resources. Rawls rejects utilitarianism, which prioritizes maximizing overall happiness, arguing that it can justify inequalities or sacrifices for some individuals if they increase aggregate welfare. Instead, Rawls seeks a framework where justice is rooted in respect for individuals' rights and dignity. His vision is deeply influenced by the social contract tradition, particularly the works of John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and Immanuel Kant. The original position and the veil of ignorance. One of Rawls's most innovative contributions is the original position, a hypothetical scenario designed to ensure impartiality in the formulation of principles of justice. In the original position, individuals are tasked with choosing the fundamental principles that will govern society. However, they do so under a veil of ignorance, which blinds them to their specific characteristics, such as gender, race, social status, talents, or personal values. By removing knowledge of personal circumstances, Rawls ensures that decisions are made without bias or self-interest. The veil of ignorance forces individuals to adopt a perspective of equality. Since no one knows their future position in society, they are motivated to design principles that protect the rights and welfare of all members. This thought experiment reflects Rawls's commitment to fairness as the foundation of justice. From the original position, Rawls argues that rational individuals would agree on two fundamental principles of justice. One, the liberty principle. Each person has an equal right to a fully adequate set of basic liberties, compatible with a similar system of liberty for others. These liberties include freedom of speech, religion, and political participation, as well as personal rights such as freedom from arbitrary arrest. 2. The difference principle and fair equality of opportunity. Social and economic inequalities are permissible only if they meet two conditions. They are attached to positions open to all under conditions of fair equality of opportunity. They benefit the least advantaged members of society. The liberty principle takes priority over the second principle, reflecting Rawls's belief in the inviolability of basic rights. However, he acknowledges that inequalities in wealth and power can be justifiable if they enhance opportunities or improve the well-being of the worst off. The difference principle. The difference principle is one of Rawls's most debated ideas. It allows inequalities in income, wealth, and social status only if they improve the position of society's most disadvantaged members. For example, higher salaries for doctors or engineers may be justified if they incentivize individuals to pursue professions that benefit everyone, including the poor. This principle reflects Rawls's rejection of pure equality, which he views as unrealistic and potentially counterproductive. Instead, he advocates for a system that balances incentives for productivity with a strong commitment to social justice. Fair equality of opportunity. Rawls emphasizes that opportunities must be genuinely fair, not merely formally open. For him, this means addressing systemic inequalities, such as disparities in education, healthcare, or access to resources, which can undermine individuals' ability to compete on equal terms. Fair equality of opportunity requires proactive measures to ensure that all individuals, regardless of their background, have a meaningful chance to succeed. The priority of justice. Rawls insists that justice is the first virtue of social institutions, overriding considerations of efficiency or aggregate welfare. He argues that a society cannot justify sacrificing the rights of some individuals, even if doing so maximizes overall benefits. This stance is grounded in his Kantian commitment to the inherent worth of each person as an autonomous moral agent. Institutions and justice. Rawls's theory has profound implications for the design of political and economic institutions. He envisions a democratic society where public policies reflect the principles of justice as fairness. Key elements include basic liberties, strong protections for civil and political rights such as freedom of speech, assembly, and the right to vote. Redistributive mechanisms, institutions that reduce economic inequalities through progressive taxation, social welfare programs, and access to education and health care. Participatory democracy, a political system that encourages active citizen engagement and deliberation. Rawls acknowledges that the implementation of his principles may vary across societies, depending on cultural, historical, and economic conditions. However, he maintains that justice as fairness provides a universal standard for evaluating institutional arrangements. Critiques and responses. Rawls's work has inspired extensive debate, with critics challenging various aspects of his theory. Some of the key critiques include 1. Utilitarian objections. Utilitarians argue that Rawls's principles may lead to inefficient outcomes, as they prioritize fairness over maximizing overall welfare. They question whether the difference principle might discourage productivity or innovation by limiting rewards for success. 2. Libertarian critiques. Libertarian thinkers like Robert Nozick reject Rawls's emphasis on redistribution, arguing that it violates individual property rights. Nozick contends that justice lies in respecting voluntary exchanges and protecting personal freedoms, not in achieving specific distributive outcomes. 3. Feminist perspectives. Feminist scholars have criticized Rawls for neglecting gender inequalities and the role of caregiving in his analysis. They argue that his framework overlooks the social and economic contributions of unpaid labor, disproportionately performed by women. 4. Global justice. Critics also question Rawls's focus on justice within a single society, arguing that his principles should address global inequalities. Philosophers like Thomas Pogge and Amartya Sen advocate for extending Rawls's framework to the international level, tackling issues such as poverty, climate change, and global governance. In response to these critiques, Rawls refined his ideas in subsequent works, including Political Liberalism, 1993, and The Law of Peoples, 1999. He clarified that his theory is intended for democratic societies with shared values, rather than a comprehensive blueprint for global justice. However, he acknowledged the need for international cooperation and the importance of addressing global inequalities. Legacy and impact. A theory of justice has had a profound impact on philosophy, political science, economics, and law. It has inspired countless scholars and policymakers to reconsider the meaning of justice and the role of institutions in promoting fairness. Rawls's ideas have influenced debates on issues such as welfare reform, affirmative action, healthcare, and income inequality. Moreover, his emphasis on fairness and the dignity of individuals has resonated across ideological divides, providing a common framework for discussing justice in diverse contexts. While critiques and alternative theories continue to emerge, Rawls's work remains a cornerstone of modern political philosophy. John Rawls's A Theory of Justice offers a compelling vision of a just society, grounded in fairness, equality, and respect for individual rights. Through the original position and the veil of ignorance, he provides a powerful framework for thinking about justice in a pluralistic world. His 2 principles of justice challenge us to balance liberty with equality, ensuring that social and economic inequalities benefit the least advantaged. While Rawls's ideas have sparked extensive debate, they have also inspired generations of thinkers and activists to work toward a more equitable society. In an era of growing inequality and political polarization, his theory remains a vital resource for understanding the principles that can sustain a just and stable social order.